There are many, many things I love about Stranger Things, but one of my absolute favorite parts of the entire series is how well written all of these characters are. Especially, I want to pay attention to the female characters in this series, what makes them so well written, and why it's important. Stick with me because this is about to get interesting. Okay, so why is it important to hone in on the female characters specifically? Well, because characters are essentially the most important part of any story. If we don't care about the characters, then why should we care what happens to them? And feminism has completely hijacked good female characters. I'm not saying there's not good characters still out there. There are, but increasingly we're seeing more of these examples of terribly written female protagonists or female characters. I think they think that like we're stupid or something, that this is our idea of what a strong female protagonist has to look like. We see this with the live action Mulan. You see this with the Pollyanna of Rey from Star Wars. You see this with Snow Off-White.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
And that is why it is so important to call out when we see great female characters and characters who make the other characters and the story around them even better. And this is one of my absolute favorite things about Stranger Things. So I'm going to go through each of the female characters in this series, break down their character and what makes it so compelling and well written. So let's kick this off with Elle, the female protagonist. She has superpowers. She has telekinetic abilities, but she has to work for these powers. She doesn't just show up one day and she has the ability to move trains around or to flip cars. This has been the cumulative result of years of training and struggling. She's also not perfect by any means. She's not this complete character who just needs to realize her own strength or power or whatever it is. When we first meet her, she is this terrified child who knows nothing about the world around her. That makes Mike such a better character because even as a kid, he is taking care of her. He is teaching her about the world. Even though she is the one who has these superpowers, she doesn't know what to do. And she looks to Mike for guidance and leadership. And not only does that make Mike take care of her and be more nurturing towards Elle, but it also makes him step up as the leader of the group.
Seriously, Mike?
I'm just trying to demonstrate how careless Max is with Eleven's powers. In fact, how careless all of you are. You're treating her like some kind of machine when she's not a machine, and I don't want her to die looking for the flayed when they've obviously vanished off the face of the earth. So can we please just come up with a new plan because I love her and I can't lose her again.
Okay, now let's move on to Joyce. I love Joyce so much. You can tell what a big heart she has. You can tell how much she cares about every single person around her. And at the same time, this is a person who completely has nothing figured out. She has this toxic ex. She is juggling jobs and her son is working just to help make ends meet. And her relentless pursuit of finding Will in season 1 is what drives a majority of the plot forward. Main characters do not sit around and wait for something to happen to them. They take actions and results happen because of those actions.
Get back inside.
Wait, are you insane?
Look,
No, I'm
something
going.
happens to me. I don't make it back.
Yeah, well, then I'll go. You stay. Are you kidding me? He's my son, Hop. My son. I'm going.
Joyce drove the plot forward for season 1 and for a big chunk of season 2. And her resolve and her drive is balanced out with her femininity in such a way where it makes the male characters around her better, particularly Hopper. Like, it takes guts, not knowing what the hell you're walking into, but by any means necessary, anything that she can do to get to Russia to save Hopper from a Russian prison. This is a badass move. At the same time, we're not pretending that Joyce is the one who's able to wield a flamethrower. It's not Joyce who's in there in a sword fight with a Demogorgon. Joyce has to rely on the resources and the skills and the knowledge that she has, but she relies on the men to serve in that brute strength protector-esque role. It makes Hopper more three-dimensional. It makes Murray more three-dimensional. And it brings to life what she is capable of and the strength and the bravery that she has as a female character. And then you look at her flaws, right? Like her relationship with her toxic ex, the instability in the home, the fluctuation with money. All of these things force Jonathan, her son, to take on a father-type role to Will, to take on this provider-like role, this adulthood way before he's ready. That makes Jonathan a much more complex and interesting character. And for all of these things, I love Joyce. I think she's one of the best, most well-written characters. She can be a flawed but also good person. And that is just a beautiful thing to see play out on the screen. Now let's go to Max. Max is this very sarcastic, kind of angry at times person because of the complicated relationships that she has with the male presences in her life. And you have all of these struggles that she goes through, these insecurities, this inability to rely on the adults around her in her life, coupled with her guilt over Billy's death, end up making her the perfect victim for Vecna, again, tying into the story and making it better. Now let's talk about Nancy. Nancy's the one who is probably the most action hero-esque aside from Elle in the whole series. But what really drives Nancy's character, especially in the beginning, is her guilt over what happened to her friend Barb. She feels guilty for dragging Barb to the party that eventually results in Barb's death. And you see this contrasted with season 1 Steve, whose sole motivation is self-preservation. He doesn't care what happened to Barb. What happened to Barb is Barb's business. He does not want to get in trouble with his dad. And this dynamic between the two of them and their eventual breakup leads Steve to become a better character because that drives his character arc. And continuing along with this theme of Steve's character arc, another big goalpost in his personal hero's journey is his relationship with Robin, because he starts to see Robin in season 3 as another potential love interest. And to be honest with you, I kind of liked it. I really enjoyed their dynamic, and I think they would be really cute as a couple together, but it actually serves as another point of growth for Steve, for Robin to be a lesbian. He has to have a closeness, a bond with Robin that's built on more than just some sort of sexual tension. It adds to Robin's own character arc, her personal struggles and her insecurities, because it probably wasn't easy to be gay in the 80s. And so that's something that you see play out through the series, that she is struggling with that. She keeps it a secret.
You ask out a girl and she says no. Big deal. Nothing happens. Maybe your ego's a little bruised, but I ask out the wrong girl and bam, I'm a town pariah.
Okay, yeah.
Now let's talk about what this means for season 5, because this is one of the most highly anticipated series finales in all of television, and the Duffer Brothers are doing everything possible to hype this up, right? This could potentially lead to being one of the greatest series finales of all time, or it could be one of the biggest disappointments. And for me, there are so many ways that this series could end. There are so many different possibilities. There's so many different deaths. There's so many different ways that this could go. But I firmly believe that it is hard to mess this up as long as the Duffer Brothers stay true to who these characters are, the characters that they have built through the seasons. You know, this is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why people hated the ending of Game of Thrones, is because they took these characters that we had such deep relationships with and thought that we knew, and then took that all the way to the end of the series and just shit all over it. All the Duffer Brothers have to do is maintain what they have built. Stay true to these characters. Stay true to their motives. Stay true to who they are as people. And I think you can take the story in many different directions, but as long as Joyce remains who she is, as long as Mike remains the heart of the group, as long as Elle doesn't decide that she is the ultimate person who knows everything and doesn't need anybody else, you know, as long as they don't go woke with any of the characters' motivations, I think we're going to end up with a really good series finale that's going to be hard to mess up. But never say never. Let's just stay cautiously optimistic and everything will be fine. But that's just my thoughts. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me who your favorite character is and what you want to see happen in the series finale. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe so you can get more of my content. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.